You also testified that certain members within crime intelligence were found to have links to drug cartels. When you started earlier on, you said there's drug dealers. There's drug dealers in crime intelligence. Who are they?
These people I can tell you, is a syndicate. They are working together, is SAPS, is the DPP, NPAs, correctional services, Mr. Nguru was the one who was facilitating hitmen for the politicians, and the SAPS and DPP correctional services, all those people cover up these cases.
Which political parties have been at the center of interference?
From what I know in Free State is the ANC. When the firearm owners hands over the firearms at the police station, those firearms are forfeited to the state. When the firearms are forfeited to the state, police stations take the firearms to the provincial storage facility. When those firearms arrives at the provincial storage facility, those firearms must be taken off the system and it must be placed on State Department 1. State Department 1 means these firearms now belong to SAPS. So once they are placed on State Department 1, these firearms are now marked for destruction. You cannot do anything with them because it belongs to the state now. So what I found, that before these firearms are placed on State Department 1, these firearms are now being placed back into the system, sold to different dealers. And those dealers register the firearms on their dealerships, and those firearms get licensed at the Center of Firearms. Police officers.
Do you have a name for?
I printed all the documents that I handed over to Colonel Scotta. Last time when I did inquiries, because General Mutley is now.
Who did you hand the dockets over, the names?
Colonel Scotta.
And when was this?
This was in 2020 during the lockdown.
And what happened since you handed over those names?
What happened, General Mutley wanted to pursue this investigation, but unfortunately they didn't have someone who could check the serial numbers of the firearms for them on the system. As a result thereof, General Mutley called me and said, Patricia, will you be fine if I ask the provincial commissioner for a service arrangement so that you can come temporarily to DPCI to assist us to check the statuses on these firearms through the serial numbers. He wrote a letter to the provincial commissioner, General Mtsonyani, and she declined that request, and it ended there.
Sure. You also testified that certain members within crime intelligence were found to have links to drug cartels. When you started earlier on, you said there's drug dealers. Those were your exact words. Stuck with me, and I'm sure you know why. There's drug dealers in crime intelligence. Who are they? And
there's the reason why my husband was arrested, because he stumbled across these crime cartels. And it was not just in crime intelligence, there was traffic office, because he submitted this profile. It was a profile list that he submitted to General Nkuna. As a result thereof, General Nkuna established this task team to investigate these cartels. Shortly after this task team, my husband was part of the task team. The task team members was arrested, and that is where Colonel Sinatle went to my husband and said he must implicate General Nkuna into this, of being part of these syndicates.
I'm not sure if it was you earlier on, touched on the 30 million drugs that were seized.
It was relating to the issue of General Khan, the departmental case against General Khan, where the drugs were seized and police officers went to the scene to remove the drugs from the scene, and another police officer called General Khan to inform him that our police officers were removing the drugs from the scene. General Khan went to the crime scene. He called I think, the head of DPCI to take over the crime scene. And he was also charged as a result of that because they say he interfered into the fact that the police officers were trying to remove. The police officers was told, they later confessed that indeed they tried to remove the drugs from the crime scene.
Yes, because I remember they tried to remove those drugs before actually putting it in forensic
Yes.
bags and actually numbering
Yes.
those bags.
Mm.
So when the second team came on site, they actually disposed of the drugs in a proper manner.
Yes.
Am I right?
Is the team that General Khan called the second team.
Do you know Feroz Khan very well?
No.
Do you have a relationship with him?
I have never seen General Khan in my life, but there was a rumor that actually it was Honorable Ian Cameron who told my husband that I'm having a romantic relationship with General Khan. I don't know General Khan. I have never spoken to him. I don't have his nothing. I don't know where Honorable Ian Cameron got that information, but he told my husband, because Honorable Ian Cameron, I don't think he knows what is the relationship between me and my husband. He's speaking a lot with him. They are speaking on a daily basis. He told my husband that Patricia have a romantic relationship with General Khan.
Dat julle twee ook die kat knip.
Soos ek in Maasdorp.
Has he even given you information?
No, I
Never.
General Khan.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've never communicated with General Khan. I don't have his number. I've never communicated with him. I've never seen him like this. I've only seen him on pictures or wherever he's been shown. I don't know him and he doesn't know me.
Also, I want to ask, do you know Mr. O'Sullivan? And if so, to what extent was his involvement in matters relating to SAPS, crime intelligence, state security?
I have this YouTube channel, my own YouTube channel, with this other guy in Jabula, where we actually challenge Paul O'Sullivan on several occasions relating to the Senzo Miwa case and other cases, to say that he is all over the place in police business. But we've never found him actually questioning Kininda's behavior in the Senzo Miwa case. I've never spoken to Mr. Paul O'Sullivan. I don't think he knows me. But there was a time where he also shared information that I shared on Facebook, and he also shared that information. And maybe he took it from my Facebook with me. But I've never spoken to him. I don't know him.
Do you think he could be connected with these drug cartels?
If you look at the Radovan Krejcik case and what transpired in that case, I believe he's connected.
Are you specifically referring to the fact that you organized for witness protection for one of those?
I specifically refer to the fact that they organized witness protection with the idea of a dead man for their Section 204 witness.
Say that again?
I received
Ms. Mashela, just go slow.
Okay.
What are you saying? They organized,
witness protection.
yeah?
They gave the ID of Mr. Jacob Nare, who was murdered in 2015. This witness of them, the Section 204 witness, is now known as Jacob Nare. But Jacob Nare was killed, and Jacob Nare's brother sent me here to say, please ask Parliament to assist us with our brother's matter, because this undocumented Zimbabwean national is an imposter using the ID of our brother.
And who organized that? Mr. Paul O'Sullivan?
Paul O'Sullivan, Candace Kutsia, and Gininda.
Sure. Okay. Finally, based on your evidence and your observations, you have indicated that political interference within SAPS and other state security institutions continues, right? According to your experience, which political parties have been at the center of interference?
From what I know in Free State is the ANC.
Vini ANC, and why do you say that?
I know about Ace Magashule, and currently now I know about the current premier, of which serious cases have been opened against her by the EFF, and those cases are being covered up by the
Wie het
South
hy-
African Police Services. Queen, the current premier, they call her Queen
Current premier of
of
which,
Free State. Free
of
State.
the Free State? And you say there's cases against her.
There's cases that have been opened last year by the EFF. That docket and her baby mama, a baby daddy, is the chief prosecutor, Mr. Silo Madloko. So these cases, these people I can tell you, is a syndicate. They are working together, is SAPS, is the DPP, NPAs, correctional services, hence I'm saying if Mr. Nguru can be called or you can interrogate his evidence, because it's not just affidavits. He have evidence of payments that have been made to him by generals, by the current DPP of Free State. There's receipts. Those payments, his lawyer confirmed that there's a trust account that was open for these payments to be made in the trust accounts, because Mr. Nguru was the one who was facilitating hitmen for the politicians, and the SAPS and DPP correctional services, all those people cover up these cases.